Hello, boys and girls. Hope you're doing all right. I'm just going to now give you a little bit of information on a very exciting new opening. And GingerGM, the company I run, have just released a course on this opening. We're calling it Smashing the Slav. It's basically the Boor Attack, and it's a very exciting way to play against the Slav Opening. I'm going to now show you an overview of the main ideas in the course, and of course, if you want to buy the course, go into the GingerGM shop, follow the description, and you can download it or buy it to stream from there. It's a 5-hour course, and it will really show you what to do in this position here as white. And I'm going to show you some of the key things here in this little free video. Now, first of all, this is the Slav Opening. It's a very popular opening against d4 or against c4 or against the reti. So this is the main move order you get to it. Maybe you'll get to this opening if you play c4. So if you've got my Iron English course and in this position you don't like the suggestions there, this could be of good use to you. You go d4, they're going to go d5, and the recommendation, what this download, this new product is to take here, which has a really boring reputation. It's the Exchange Slav, but generally anything I do is not really boring. And after black takes back, going into the symmetrical position, we develop our knight. And here, black's main move is knight to f6. And now, rather than the more main line moves like bringing the bishop out, bringing a knight out, some kind of tame move like this, the Boor Attack, and what we mainly concentrate on in this new product, is this very interesting move. Now, it might look a bit crazy. Ben Feingold wouldn't like this move, but it has a very good point to it. We're just going to go e4 and build up a big center. And this is only played about 3% of the time, so it's a really rare move. Even against really well-established players, you have a great chance of catching them unaware and getting a quick win. It's very trappy and it's very dangerous. And the course I've created, again, you can buy it in the downloads. Just follow the link down there. It will take you to it. It shows you all the most popular lines, and it also goes quite deep into theory with some computer lines. So everything is covered, basically, that you need to know. Now, I should also mention that if black keeps copying you, I consider this move to be a slight mistake from black, actually, because now we can play e4. And this move is very tricky for black. If he takes on e4, d5 is very, very strong move. And we can win our pawn back at ease. And white's already a lot better. So let's go back to the Boor Attack. And it's called the Boor Attack mainly because it's named after the player Boor, an American, I think FM, who started to play this idea regularly, f3. So he's been attributed the opening name. And he has got some courses out, which I've looked at, pretty decent courses, but we've gone a little bit further with our analysis of this opening because they're a little bit dated. And obviously this is only just a free video, a little taster, so I'm not going to go into the theory too much. I just want to give you a little idea so you can go and give it a crack, a little bit of a play. There are 3 main ways that black can now deal with this. We won't look at other moves, but in this video I'm just going to show you the main move, which nearly everyone plays, and well over 50% of cases black plays this move. So this is what you need to be most prepared against, and it's very hard for black to equalize in this line. It's very, very tricky. The next move black plays is this, a rather solid approach, but again, I think this doesn't quite equalize. And then if black is really well prepared, he might play this move, which I believe is the best move and the current theory. So let's just start with knight c6. Now, we're playing e4 in nearly all cases, so that's exactly what we're going to do here. And now, if we get a chance to play e5, we're going to be basically a little bit better at least. So if black ever plays a move like e6, we can play e5. And after the knight moves, we can play f4, and we've got a very nice centre. It's like a good French defence because black has already swapped off the c pawns. And in the French defence, you don't want to do that because it allows the white knight to come here. So this is slightly better. So if black doesn't do anything, we're just pushing that pawn forwards. So what happens if black takes on e4? This is the critical move. Well, if we capture back, we lose the pawn in the middle. So the whole point is we push this pawn forwards, attacking the knight. And now black's knight generally comes in here. And now we take this pawn. Now we look at in the DVD, the course you can buy, you know, in the description. We look at about 8 different moves there. So if you buy the course, you know, it's 5 hours, but you're going to have a great weapon against the Slav, everything you need to know. Now in this video, we're just going to look at the main move, e6. Now this is a decent move. The bishop's trying to get out, black's trying to castle, black's challenging the centre. Now we challenge the knight on e5 and develop. Now black might want to play bishop d6 here, and there I'm actually recommending bishop f4 as a way to try to get an advantage. But this is undoubtedly, again, what you're most likely to get. Nearly everyone plays this. Go and give it a go, you know, when you're playing your blitz games. We take back with a queen, and now black often tries taking here, hoping we're going to capture back when that pawn could be weak. But we now develop with speed, bishop b5 check, black blocks, and we play this exciting move. And already black has to be extremely careful. The knight is attacked. Where does it go? It clearly doesn't want to go backwards. And if black plays bishop takes bishop, we take the knight. And our pawn is very dangerous. We're also attacking the bishop. So this is the main move. And now, again, we go into much more detail here. The correct move is to threaten checkmate. But we don't castle here because that allows black this check. And after our king moves, he can castle. What we actually play is the very clever rook f1, and this is one of the main ideas of the Boor Attack, threatening checkmate on f7. Very hard for black to defend. He's got to play f6. Every other move is losing. Queen e7, we take that pawn, attacking the queen. And after this move, we take on f6, opening it up. And now black's got to take with a knight. And here queen e2 check is key. And I'll just show you one more idea. We look at the idea of queen e7 and bishop e3 and castles in the course. But just to show you a very nice win, if black plays the move bishop e7 here, can you see the win? Boom! Put out your pipe and smoke it, son. A beautiful way to win. Black has got to try taking this one, otherwise just a piece down. Our queen now comes in with check. It can't be blocked. Our bishop flies in with check. Only one move. And now queen takes here. Checkmate. Next move. So you can see there's a lot of very powerful tricks and ideas. Knight f3, by the way, is another move order you can use to get into it. But black has more options. So we're taking here. And therefore, knight c6 can lead to some quite dangerous positions for black. So let's look at his second big move, e6. Well, of course, we play e4 again. And as before, if we get a chance to play e5, push that pawn forwards, very simply, we're going to have a big centre. Black's bishop particularly is very bad, like a bad French defence. So black, his best move is to take here. And now, if we get a chance to simply put our knight here, our bishop here, and castle, we're going to be a lot better, because we can push this pawn forwards, open an attack towards black's king. So now the key move here is bishop b4. Now in the video course, we look at two moves, queen d3 being our theoretical move, but the move I actually prefer and I study even more is the move bishop g5. And again, whenever I'm doing any work, I try to find the most aggressive option. And me and our little team of opening experts made sure we came up with a very bitey repertoire, one that is safe computer check but also has a lot of sting to it, and this move is very dangerous. First of all, we're threatening just to play e5 in a lot of positions, so black up to this point has generally gone queen a5. And this looks really strong because we're threatening the bishop, threatening the knight, and threatening the pawn, now that black's out of the pin. But actually, after bishop takes f6, black does win a pawn, but when he takes this pawn, we can actually play king to f2, and now rook to c1 is a really strong idea. So black's got to go check first, and in this position he's got to win the piece back. But after knight f3, my feeling here is that white has a tremendous initiative for one measly pawn. We're going to go queen d3, try to trap the queen with rook d1. Our queen is also trying to get in on the dark squares like this. Black's pieces are very bad, and black's king is weak if it castles. And again, we look at this in more depth in the course. We use an annotated game, and we look at this with some theory. But this bishop g5 move is a relatively new idea in this variation. Now finally, the move which black should play against f3, this underrated move, is queen b6. Now what is the point of this move? And again, you're probably not going to face this unless your opponent is well prepared. And what I've done is taken the latest theory and I've tried to go as deep as possible with some new ideas. Now I believe black is equal if he plays very accurately in this line, but it's very tricky still for him with the correct sequence. And I'll quickly show you now what it is. We should of course play e4. Black's idea is now to take on e4 and play e5. And this move is very aggressive, because if we take on e5, we can see black's idea. With knight g4, he's threatening checkmate, and our dark squares are very weak. So rather than take that pawn, a move that is much better, because it's all about fighting for initiative, is to develop with check, bishop b5 check. Now, knight c6 is definitely best. If black plays bishop now to this square, we can take on e5, and knight g4 will be met by queen takes g4. Let's quickly show that. And this queen takes g4 is simply, well, just winning, really. It's as easy as that. The queen can come here. A well-known trap. Other lines, including bishop takes bishop, are looked at again in the course, but we won't have time to look at them here by the course. So knight c6 is actually black's best move, and now we add a bit of pressure to that one, so we have quite a forced position. And a6 doesn't help because our bishop drops back, so black's got to do a counterattack with bishop g4, threatening queen takes our bishop. This is a good move, so you can see how sharp this is. Now we've got to go queen d3 to defend our bishop, renewing the threat. Black now plays a6, hoping we take on c6, but we're not going to. We're going to go back, keeping the pin. Black's got to threaten our bishop again with queen to this square. And now, up to this point, in previous works, Boor himself recommends bishop to d2 here as the main move. And this bishop to d2 move, well, I don't really like it. I think black's at least equal in those positions. And a much better move, and the bizarre thing is we can follow a bit of the computer analysis. Well, we go bishop d1. This is a rather bizarre looking move, but we're getting out of the way of that one. We're forcing the knight to move. And now here, I think this is actually where Boor recommends bishop d2. But this is now where I'm going to show you an improvement, a really interesting new line. It's shown to me by Icelandic FIDE master Ingvar, a good friend of mine, and he showed me a very interesting line that really that he showed some of his students, which really excited me. And the funny thing is, if you put the computer's assessment on of this position, and I'll just quickly do that. This is only chess.com, but let's just show you what the computer says. The computer's line here, which I'm going to now go into, is actually losing for black, unbelievably, or it's a lot worse. So if your opponent's prepared, this is one case where low-ranking computers will get this wrong. And rather than playing bishop d2, which I don't believe is a good chance at an advantage, we're going to go knight e2. Now, forget about the minus score, because the minus score's only, it thinks black's winning. And after knight to e2, if we continued with its original idea, and that was of bishop c5, we look at other moves, of course, in the course. But now, I'll get rid of that one now. The key line is actually to play knight takes e2. And now, after bishop takes, I just want to show you a beautiful line. Our idea is generally just to castle, and we have ideas of rook f6. And this pawn gives us nice position in a lot of cases. And again, this is if black knows everything. But what happens again about this move, this knight takes e4 move? And this is where we have a simply beautiful concept. The latest theory, I would say, is that black should castle or go bishop d7. And this is one of the key lines that we look at in the course. And I actually had this position. I think I had it with here with the knight on d4. This is probably a better way of black doing it, castling and now playing bishop d7, the idea of coming over here. And I had this in a game where I played the very slow and bad king h1 move. But I show you our new idea here of going a3 and trying to give up the rook on a1 and then taking on f6, which I've worked on with a computer, and it looks very dangerous for black. But if we go back, again, all this key idea, you get the course, it's all in there. But after knight e2, knight takes e2, bishop takes here. This move looks very interesting, but I just want to show you a beautiful line now to end this video with. Well, we take here. What's black's idea? Black's idea is to take on c3. And now, surely, it looks like he's doing well. The computer, again, I just want to show you. We'll leave this chess.com computer on. It gives the move king to f2, which we now play. And it only gives now a little advantage for white, but I'll show you how bad this can get. Because now, okay, black has to take the rook. And what do we play here? We give up the other rook, bishop to e3. Now, this is a tremendous move, because after queen takes here, we play queen takes e5 check. And suddenly, black is in a world of pain. If he moves the king, he's going to get checkmated. If he moves this way, he's going to get checkmated with our bishops. So he has to play bishop e6. Only idea, and it might look like he should be safe because he's banished the castle. But after e7, he's got to really give his rook up now. If he doesn't give his rook up, can you see the phenomenal finish here? And it's simply stunning. And Ingvar showed this finish to me, which one of his pupils was actually able to play. And the finish is bishop d4, threatening checkmate. So black only has one move, f6. Now the other bishop comes in, only one move, king here, and now queen takes f6. Oh yeah! And if this queen is taken, what a way to finish the game. And I really hope some of you who buy the course get this checkmate in. Okay, now I want to keep this video under 20 minutes. I've just given you a little feeler for the course. And again, if you want to buy this, and really find a very exciting way. If you're a D4 player, if you're an English player, a Reti player, and you're not sure what to do against a Slav, which is, again, like I say, a very mainline move, being played by a number of top players, still played a lot of the time, so you have to have something against this opening. If you want to shock them, if you want to get them into a position where they have to think early on, if you want to challenge their game straight away, then this little f3 move, the Boor Attack, could be the idea for you. And again, go and buy that course, have a little look. You can stream the first chapter for free on GingerGM, but it's a really, honestly, really exciting and I think very unique way to face the Boor opening, the Slav opening with the Boor Attack. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll have a lot of success with it. All the theories there in those courses. So go and check out the course now by following the link. Cheers.